I want to explain the concept of metabolic flexibility because I'm getting a lot of messages in my direct messages of people saying, okay, I want to do the carnivore diet to heal and to lose weight. I eventually want to add things back into my diet. How do I know that I'm metabolically flexible at that point when I do have cheat days or when I introduce things back in? And let me share with you what metabolic flexibility feels like and what the signs are so that you can really truly understand this concept. So if you were going to go have pizza with friends tonight and cheat on your animal-based lifestyle, which I don't recommend, but if you were going to do that, you would know that you're able to adapt from burning sugar for fuel and burning fat for fuel, which is metabolic flexibility. You would know that because the next day, your mood and your energy and everything is pretty stable. You don't have big fluctuations that are happening because of the cheat of a higher carb meal. You'll also see signs of metabolic flexibility if your hunger is pretty stable and you can go back to normal the next day and you don't have crazy hunger spikes or crazy cravings. You'll know that you are able to shift back and forth in that way. Another sign is that you can fast pretty soon after going off the carnivore diet. So if you're somebody that's eating a no carb diet and you have a cheat, you'll know that your body is able to be metabolically flexible because after a cheat on carbs, your body was able to burn those carbs. Your body is then able to get right back into fat adaptation. It does take a little bit of time, but you're not going to see that you're having such huge energy dips, and you're able to go longer in between meals, which is a hallmark of being fat adapted and using your body, using fat efficiently for energy. And then lastly, another great way to track this is after you're cheating, maybe the next day or the following day, you're following up with checking your ketone levels to see if you're able to pop back in ketosis at a relatively easy rate. And if that's the case, then your body is able to then adapt right back to burning fat for fuel. So those are just some things to look for after a cheat. I know for me, I would like to think that I'm metabolically flexible. It takes me about a day or two after I've gone off of the carnivore diet. I haven't done that for a really long time, but I've talked in my channel about the times where I've done that and I've had like a whole bag of snacks. And it takes me a couple days to reset cravings, to reset my mood, to get stable energy back and to get back in ketosis. So just some things to consider if you're really trying to map out your escape from carnivore, which I don't recommend. So I sort of hate making these videos, but I'm just trying to explain it because I'm getting a ton of questions in my direct messages about this. Please excuse my Saturday look. This is just like mom going to the games look, unshowered. Anyway, I think it's important to note that just because you can, and just because your body can switch energy systems metabolically, doesn't mean that you should. Because there are other factors at play for reintroducing, especially highly processed foods into your diet, that will negatively affect your body. Inflammation, digestion, brain health, like all sorts of other things. So I'm not giving an excuse for you to go on the carnivore diet and then welcome back in the standard American diet. I'm just giving you an idea of, okay, if you do the carnivore diet and you want to have some flexibility and add a few things in like low carbohydrate fruits, low carbohydrate vegetables, or maybe some grains from time to time, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a free-for-all going back to, the state fair and going to get fried dough. I'm talking about those moments in your life where you're like, this is going to be worth the cheat for me and I'm going to go back to this and then I'm going to not go off the rails, but readjust right back to the way I was eating. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about abandoning this lifestyle because you really do want to marry carnivore. You don't want to just like serially date just like you've been doing with all the other diets. So I hope this makes sense.